Your device
There
will
are
now
two human echo
restart.
servers. Which one do I go to?
Wait, really?
Yeah, Kyle and Timber.
No, Al started one. Al's losing his... I don't know what Al's doing.
In my mind, it was going to be funnier.
That was the...
In my mind, there was this confusion, and you're waiting for Tony to log in, and Tony's like, I don't know why, you haven't loaded the board or anything yet.
Wow.
Just imagine how funny that would have been
scroll.
if I'd baited him into my server.
Some Brazilians playing. Hue, hue, hue is the name of their game. Because for some reason, instead of LOL or haha, it's HUE, 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 UE.
I've seen them write ja ja ja.
Yeah, I've seen that before too, but that's more Korean.
Is that Korean?
I thought that was a Japanese type thing.
I always thought that was South American.
South Korean. For ja, 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 ja. And PK Baba Jajang.
What?
Back in the Diablo 2 days, they always told you that, and then they'd come after you and murder you. PK Baba, question mark, Jajang, Jajang.
What?
I don't know what he's talking about.
So when you would play Diablo 2,
That much I got.
it's North Korea, or South Koreans, I don't think I ever played
Is
a
that the
game.
one that comes after Diablo 1?
That's what they would tell you, and then they would murder you.
What does that mean?
We never figured it out, because it's slang of some sort. PK usually means player kill. Baba probably means barbarian. Jajang means something mysterious that we never figured out. It's probably some racial slur towards fat white kids.
Probably. We learned one thing. It's that the entire world unites as a goal to mock Tony.
That's what I do.
Yes, I am finishing my lunch. I didn't feel safe to drive, so I just decided to walk over there.
Does nobody else just make a sandwich?
Oh,
Not very often,
I
no.
decided I was going to eat some actual carbs. So I got
that
some
comes from the bread
chicken
in the
and rice.
sandwich.
I don't own any bread right now. I have Tupperware filled with chicken and pork and veggies, and that's it.
Okay. Are we ready to get started for real?
This content's pure gold. I don't know why we would possibly deviate
I
from
don't, I realize we could
you
just sit here and
screaming at
BS
your
for
phone and
30
Tony
minutes.
eating.
My Android is upgrading and optimizing app 11 of 259.
Not to mention, let's not forget that awesome prank.
So you...
You're making a separate video for that, right?
It's another Darth.
That's going to become a whole series. Just Albert creates his own server in Tabletop Simulator to mess with people.
Yes. That's reminding me of something where it's just a prank that just never works, but it's I'm not gonna think of it. It's a similar humor to that. If we were to do a series where you just kept making Tabletop Simulator servers that never really fooled anyone. Which was just...
It's like episode 93. The
Yes.
person was like,
This time...
Albert, we get it already. It's the same joke. It wasn't funny the first time.
First 96 times. Alright, let's review here. I am Alex Fairmont.
I'm Johnny Shakespeare.
Johnny Shakespeare, Brock
Pitman.
Actually, should we do an intro and then just review out loud for everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
So welcome back to Tabletop Simulator Fiasco. The playset we're doing is the Fallout playset. Not Fallout TM, Fallout, just like the actual thing that happens after nuclear blast. Yeah. Anyway, it's Albert, Tony, and Joseph here. I'm playing Johnny Shakespeare. Tony is...
Brock, the tire iron Pitman.
And Joseph is...
Alex Fairmont. Oh, that's
gotta
right,
say it in the girl
androgynous
name.
Alex.
Alex Fairmont.
Well, no, I don't know if I'm disguised yet. I am a girl, but we worked
Some
out
predestination
some stuff.
action.
We have,
Don't spoil the dang movie, Tony! Dang it!
I was talking about androgyny.
You said he's a girl, but anyway.
What?
Don't just everybody erase that conversation from your minds and go watch Predestination because the movie's awesome.
Oh, spoiled predestination. Anyway, our
Spoilers are in
relationships,
our blood.
or the relationship between our characters, me and Al involves the past. Someone owes someone their life between Al and I think we figured most of this out. And we're trying to get rich by cheating the Madhawks motorcycle gang.
The relationship between me and Tony is that I am a pit fighter and he is a pit fighter manager of me.
What's the
relationship between Joseph and I is that there's some sort of stalker / unrequited love thing going on.
Like, that one's just so far out of left field. I cannot wait to see how that plays out.
That's right, I have the hots for Tony.
Okay.
And the Silverlight Cinema is where the pit fights take place. That's sort of. And then again, so in the setup we started fleshing that out. Oh yeah, absolutely.
That just makes so much sense right there.
It's
amazing you found a character model that's so like me in real life. And that hunch, it's perfect.
That was terrifying how accurate that looked when you walked it over.
Oh, like you moved it at the right speed and it was...
Yeah, I was like, is there like a walk button for the icon now?
Nope, Tony's just good at moving a mouse.
Can do things?
Yep. He fell down because she was a lady.
Hey.
Dead.
Alright, this is gold for the audio portion of art. Remember, Tony dancing.
So I'm setting up the scene, and the way this works is that I set it up, and then these two will figure out whether it ends well or badly for me. And for the sake of the audio listeners who are not watching this as a video, say something when you give me your die. Who made the die big?
I just did. I thought that'd be nice.
That's a good thing.
Okay. Thank you for making the die big. I guess I'm the only one who is just confused by that because now they're giant.
Yeah.
But yes, okay. That's
I
actually
might have to change my name from Tire Iron to Stumpy because I'm like carrying a big stick.
No changing of the names will be permitted. All right, so I'm starting out the scene. I'm setting the scene here. We're in the post-apocalypse, so there's a desert. Like one of them painted desert-looking thing. Like it's not just a boring sand desert. There's like rocks and boulders and like kind of cool features off in the distance. And into this desert scene, we see a lady walking. And she's kind of dressed like the old sort of Victorian-style dress, and she's got an umbrella over her shoulder. And she's walking along.
Or an umbrella?
What? A parasol-looking thing. I think that it's actually an umbrella because it's the post-apocalypse, and they wouldn't actually have a parasol at this point, but they probably have some umbrellas left over.
Yeah.
But she's holding it like a parasol. And also, it is actually the desert, and so she needs something to keep the sun off of her. So
the only difference between a parasol and an umbrella in my mind is how it looks. Well, actually, it looks daintier. I think it's funnier if it's a rain umbrella.
Well, it's about to get really funny, so hold on to your
hang on,
things
guys.
that you're going to hang on to.
It's about to get funny. Start enjoying our recording content now.
Okay, so she's walking along. She goes through a little gulch canyon or whatever, and out from behind the scrub brush and some boulders pop a couple of desperados, a couple of hombres, and they say, "Stick 'em up, lady." And, like, before they can even barely get the words out of her mouth, she, like, moves the umbrella down, puts it up to her shoulder, and it turns out that it's actually a shotgun umbrella. And she just blows both of them away. It's a little flavor there for you, so you understand what kind of person we're dealing with. Lady...
That's me, though.
Yes.
All right.
I'm getting you into town, so...
I understand that, but I'm realizing why you should... All right.
Did you not want me to do that to your character?
That's perfectly fine. I was going to flesh out my own character, but that's fine.
Just to be nice, you get a good outcome to start.
This isn't even me!
It's my scene. You don't get it. So you continue walking into town, past the dead bodies. You are coming to the what is the name of the town? Did we establish that?
Something Falls. I'm trying to remember.
It's right here on the cards, guys. Remember these index cards
Freedom
that have all the
Falls.
information we need on them?
Yes, Township of Freedom Falls.
Okay. She's walking into Freedom Falls. Turns out there's not any falls, and probably very little freedom as well. She walks past the sign, population,
Is it crossed out
158.
and something evil?
No. You know what? No. They just have they have those little cards that flip. And she like comes in and like grabs one and flips over to a higher number and puts it back in the
So
billboard.
we're in a cartoon. Is that what I'm hearing?
It's on Borderlands style, though.
Yeah.
It's all cell shaded.
You had to bring up the population number. I was just trying to make it funny.
I thought that someone would cross out something on the sign and write, 6 or whatever it is.
Anyway, she comes into town. Everybody's looking for her, or looking at her. She walks into the local saloon and plunks down some money and says, "Whiskey." I don't know how people order whiskey, but she orders some whiskey in a sort of very, manly manner. And there, people are says, the bartender says, "Hey, here's you're new in town." She says, "Yeah, I am." And he says, "What brings you here?" And she says, "I'm looking for somebody." He says, "Who are you looking for?" "A man named Johnny Shakespeare." And he says, "Well, you're in luck. You can find him about every day that begins with the T at the Silverlight Cinema." Where's the Silverlight Cinema at? I forget where the...
It's between you and Tony.
Oh, okay. Down at the Silverlight Cinema, fighting in the pits. He's a pit fighter down there.
I want to hand off a die, but I don't understand how you're gonna make this relate.
You owe me your life. Like, I assume that, like, that's a good... The fact
that's
that...
a good thing for you if we give you a white? What if we give you black?
Well, we'll figure that out.
Tony, what do you want to do here?
If he gets a black, then something bad goes down whenever they meet Johnny Shakespeare.
Well, now it's how the scene ends. Right?
Yep.
Do we make it a happy reunion, or is somebody, like, unconscious on the floor or something?
Well, I'd imagine it sort of ends with...
have the reunion happen yet. She's just coming in...
Does the information get to her, I think, is the good or bad, in my mind. I'm going to say it's... Can I...
Yeah, go for it.
I'm trying to think. Well, you should have some motorcycles driving around the town. There should be occasional just bursts of motorcycle engines and rumbles and stuff.
Like, some iron horses ride up outside and they hitch them to their hitching post.
I also would want some hand-to-hand combat with the vermin, the varmints, the robbers.
Right
I was
now?
a pit fighter. No, I'm going back and peppering that in. I want to be good at hand-to-hand combat.
But she just didn't need to be at that point.
That's fair enough.
We can have a bar fight break out.
Yeah.
Well, no, as long as it's in
I really like the
canon.
idea of, like, she's checked her shotgun umbrella at the door because they're wise enough at the saloon. And,
are there guns allowed in this town? Are guns around a lot?
I would say that they're around, but that you're not allowed to drink with them. So when a bar fight does break out and somebody doesn't get shot.
Okay, I like that.
So a bar fight does break out, let's say, and she, just handles some guy. Like, she's not even really in it. But, like, somebody just gets too close to her and she just karate chops him. She gives him the Vulcan neck choke or whatever. And he's just down.
I like that. Yes.
And goes back to drinking her whiskey. So
I
I officially have the black die
though.
now, by the way. You have your hand on that die like you're going to do something with it.
I did not realize that, as my hand is, in
so
reality, nowhere near my mouse.
Your yellow hand is on the die. So I'm getting a bad outcome here. As Johnny Shakespeare, she's coming to town. She says, I'm looking for a guy named Johnny Shakespeare.
I either get misinformed by the bartender on purpose, or possibly set up to get re-kidnapped, or I just don't think that. Well, this is what I'm suggesting for the black die outcome, is that it relates to how the information gets to her, or actually doesn't get to her, and possibly puts her in danger.
Oh, it's all days that end in T, so it could actually be some other type of meeting that's happening at the Silverlight Cinema.
I want to say that maybe so the way Joseph is spinning it with the bad information, the barkeep says, sorry, lady, I don't know nobody by that name here in Freedom Falls. Kind of a small town. I think I would have heard of somebody named Johnny Shakespeare. And she just sort of finishes her whiskey and leaves. And then he goes into the back room and tells somebody, you got to get a message out to Brock the Tire Iron Pitman.
Right. Because they're pit fighters. They don't have, names. They're just sort of rabble. Or maybe they have stage names or something, and I ask for his real name, which is a bad sign.
Oh, that's a good
Something
idea.
along those lines. It's clear I'm interested in you as a person, not to see the fights, and that makes the bartender, because the town is owned more or less by the motorcycle gang,
Yes.
which owns the pit fights. So he's like, I'm not gonna tinker with this or mess with this. I'm just gonna immediately tell the gang about this.
And now I'm dead. That
Yes.
was the bad outcome. They came and they like found out that you were looking for me and they shot me. And the rest of the story is the unrequited love between you.
All right. Except for the death, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that was a joke. I'm not actually dead. So she's gonna get out her magnifying glass or whatever and start sleuthing around.
Well, that's next scene. I think you're done with your scene.
Yes, no, I'm done with the scene. I'm just saying. Something bad probably going to happen to me. I'm going to get beat up because somebody's looking for me. Like, what is this broad in town looking for? She shot 2 of our guys who were going to collect the tax on the way in. What do you know about it? That's just in my mind. Potentially happening off screen. That's up to Tony, though. Or no, it's up to Joseph. Because it's Joseph's scene.
I also think, yes, now it's my scene. That's good. The clockwise thing worked.
We understand clocks now.
I am going to stick with my character. I think going forward, you have to be a little more central. I know we said this earlier. We discussed.
I just really wanted to get you into town, and I thought that.
I said that works, but that did get a little confusing.
Okay.
I would suggest that we try and stick with our characters. Well, I don't know. It worked, I guess. So I have no complaints.
Okay.
All right. So I'm looking for a place to sleep for the night. I'm sort of checking out town. Also looking out for the pit fighters thing again. So let's discuss the town a bit. Is this like a decent sized town that's all rubble? Was it a small town to begin with and there's not?
I'm imagining it as just like in a western. Like it's just kind of like maybe 1 or 2 streets sort of thrown together out of wood and leftover rubble. Like this was built after the bombs fell.
Well, there's a movie theater.
Okay. Well,
That's
they imported the movie theater.
Not.
It was originally a small town. It's a small town. It was a small town to begin with. That's just in my head. It's not like some regular town that got, nuked. It's a smallish sort of movie style out west town.
More destroyed by entropy than anything else.
Yeah, it's run down, dusty.
Say less than 500 people. Probably more like 150, 200.
That's what we said was on the sign.
Well,
it could be more than that. We don't actually have to get into like the economics of like and how many people does it take to sustain a small town. The GDP.
See, the motorcycle gang's gasoline imports are the lifeblood of the town.
Are they run by a parliamentary procedure, or is it more of a...
I just figured they'd have like a really competent city manager.
What?
They've got a great community outreach program. They have soup.
Needle exchange and everything.
Yeah, it turns out the biker gang is the best thing to ever happen to this town. We're going to dismantle it.
Right.
They build hospitals and roads.
We're going to give Joseph a white die.
So I haven't started. I want to see a poster of the fights hung up somewhere.
Live every day that starts with a T.
Well, that's when...
Tuesday, Thursday, and Tam's Day.
Again, I like the idea of the motorcycle in the background. So I guess I walk over to the inn with my parasol. Well, the other question is how fast is information traveling that I'm not to be... Well, it doesn't matter, actually.
It's a small town.
Yeah. I don't have to deal with it right away. I'm going to go to the inn.
They have little Johnny that's a runner between the biker gang and, he carries their information.
2 Johnnies?
Yeah. That could happen. There's 150 people. Johnny's a very common name.
Usually you don't name 2 characters the same name.
I'm just trying to gloss over the fact that I forgot my name was Johnny.
I'm well aware of that. I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, maybe little Johnny's Johnny Shakespeare's kid. Johnny Jr.
Johnny Jr. Shakespeare? You would have to be Johnny Shakespeare to be Johnny Shakespeare Jr. Right. I get a room for the night. Again, so it's sort of like a silent-ish montage of me doing all these things, seeing the poster, walking around. I'm moving slowly and taking, I'm doing things intelligently, if that makes sense. Like a good cowboy. Tony's making his ogre swing a bat. You get the sense that I'm scoping everything out. I'm checking entrances and exits and possible sniper places and stuff. Okay. Go in, you see me get the room. The guy's like, yeah, sure. And either before or after, little Johnny comes in and is like, psh, 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 psh. And the guy's like, oh no, it's room 6 and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, maybe I grab a bite to eat or something. But then eventually I go to my room for the night. I'm going to ask for my outcome here.
I think you're going to get a good outcome. I mean, you kind of got a bad outcome with me, so I think we need to give you a good one to balance out what's going on.
All right. So a hoodlum comes in the middle of the night. Dun, 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 dun. And puts a gun up next to the head of the bed and cocks it back. But it's one of those fake-aroos. I'm not in the bed. I knew enough to go sleep in the corner on the chair. Sort
in
of
the shadows.
Behind the, oh God, I died!
No, you're just sleeping in the shadows.
And that's
yeah, you fell asleep. He's sitting there like threatening an empty bed.
Why did we send a blind gunman?
Anyway, I get the drop on him. Obviously disarm him with a crack on the wrist. This gang sucks, by the way. Why don't I just kick all their asses? Right. I get the drop on him.
If you do, though, you're going to cut off the lifeblood of this town with their gasoline
true.
imports. There's poor people who need that soup line, Joseph.
How do I get the feeling that's going to actually become the plot of the story? Is this underlying good deeds of the bicycle gang? You're in the pit because you're like a child murderer? And this is just how they dispense justice.
That's a way to go. You owe me your life, but maybe you don't like me that much.
That's true.
I actually thought about that, but I didn't want to force you to, as much as I'm sure you feel like I made your character do stuff, but I thought that it would be kind of neat if maybe the owing of life wasn't a, I really want to do this, but, it's literally an obligation, and you actually aren't that fond of me.
It's weighing very heavily on me. But I don't want to make that decision yet.
Yes, no, I'm not saying it has to be that way, but it is an option.
So anyway, some wrist smashing, gun dropping on the henchman, and I've got my good die. So I get more information. He doesn't give me the runaround because I'm beating the crap out of him. The question is, do I kill him?
I was gonna say you just tell him to get out of town if you feel like unless you want to tell this story to the bosses.
Yeah, this can't get back, so I've got to get information. I get more about you are actually in the pit fights, and I like the stage name thing, even though you sound like a stage name. Johnny Shakespeare. We all sound like stage names. But you fight under the name of
Umberto Bell.
Gruntarella. Umberto Bell. Okay, we don't have to lock that down yet either. I'm gonna say, considering our first 2 attempts. I figure out, your real name's there. You are in these pits. You do fight these certain days. And I'm going to leave some of the information he tells me in the gray area for now. I might want to circle back later on and impart some knowledge to me.
Okay.
If I'm allowed to do that.
Sure.
And
I
then,
don't feel like there's anything that needs to be hammered down. Basically, the outcome is you figure out where I'm at.
Yeah, and I get the lowdown on the pit fights. And let's keep in mind,
and you make an enemy with the biker gang, because now they're for real sure that,
But I also learned that Fair Tire Iron Pitman is here. He's the one running the pits.
He's the manager. He's the pit manager.
I get a little flushed, yes, and now Tony is once again waving his stick.
Oh, that's a good, because you have the infatuation with him.
Yes. Or he has it with me. Either way, that clearly gets a reaction. The guy's like, "Oh, so you've heard of Pitman," and then I just break his nose and tell him to get the fuck out of town, and throw him out the window. He's like, "Ah!" He lands in like a pile of horse poo or something, and then I make sure I make sure this does not get back, and it's effective because I got a white die. That's my scene.
That was a good scene. Tony, it's your turn.
So, that was on Monday night, so we're sitting here at the actual fights.
Yay! I was hoping to get to see this.
like I'm overseeing this kind of being the MC with my big tire iron as a
Tony.
cane.
Hold on. We gotta make sure those bikes are driving by outside.
Yeah, right now, like they're just kicking up dust and they're trying to allow people to know that the fights are open, so they're going in these big circles around the arena, just kicking it up and putting a lot of noise out there.
Can you give me some color as to how they've utilized a cinema for the pit fights?
Loud pipes save lives.
Basically, they're just going around the movie theater, and whenever there's a chance, people run through the little moat that they made. And the first fight of the night is starting with Johnny Shakespeare, who's up there doing his little soliloquy action as, like, Bernard.
Color.
Can you smell what the Shakespeare has been writing?
As he pulls up against the guy.
Can you read
like,
it?
Bernard Tubface.
My sonnets cannot be compared!
Oh, we suck at coming up with wrestler names. What do we have? We have Bernard, Umberto, and Gruntarella? It's terrible.
Maybe we should change that to like Bernard the Plumber or
This
something.
man wouldn't know a sonnet from a bonnet!
Shakespeare's your real name!
No, it isn't. It's my wrestler name. We established that.
Oh, I thought we were trying to come up with wrestler names.
No! You said,
Oh.
because she asked about Shakespeare earlier, and I said that, like, my real name was Umberto Bell.
Oh, I thought that was your... Okay, I got mixed up. But then Johnny isn't your son?
No, like, nobody knows my real name.
I was going with that as fact, meaning your real name was Johnny Shakespeare, and we were coming up with a stage name for
Well,
you.
Johnny could be the real
Okay,
part,
come on, guys.
Nobody knows the last name.
Right.
It's not like they've got a census or a social security number. So, yeah, he's got, like, both fighters are getting ready in the ring. People are flooding in. Like, it's a big spectacle. The movie theater is almost packed. And then up near the top, like, you're just sitting there, like, in the top row, kind of in the shadows, watching. Alex is.
Smoking a cigar.
No, smoking a cigar. Maybe carrying a skin of whiskey or something like that, just getting housed up in the top row.
When men were men and women were also men?
Yep. Because you're sitting there and you're staring down at the guy that you have to give your, like, or you owe your life to, and then the guy you used to be in love with, or still are, or whatever that we've decide happens there.
Yes. So,
this is not turning out for you, Tony.
Okay.
Tony's gotten a black die. I'm also curious to know how you as Tire Iron interact in the pit fights. Are you like
basically
MC or like the ref or you're just in the back counting money or?
I think that you're out there like talking to Shakespeare like.
Oh yeah, I'm just curious.
All right, man, this is a big one.
Yeah, I'm kind of playing like I'm working with Johnny Shakespeare, watching him do his soliloquy thing. And then whenever he comes back to his corner and, like, Bert the plumber is doing his thing on the other side, I'm telling him what his weaknesses are, what he needs to look out for, and how, like, there's only so much I can save him from a pipe wrench. So, like, it's just going to turn into this fight, and it's not to the death this time, because, like, if incidental death happens, that's okay, but this arena is for entertainment, not just for
Is this fight fixed?
That's what I was going to ask.
I was going to say it's not fixed, but I have confidence in you, so I put a lot of money, caps, whatever the current currency is, probably gasoline on you.
I was also going to ask, are the fights between, do you just have a crew of pitmen that you fight against each other, or do you up against pitmen from other gangs or something?
I think it's pitmen from other gangs, like people come to our town bringing their people in, and it turns into like a little tournament thing.
I like that.
And I'm the manager of the fighters from the Falls.
And this one's not to the death.
Nope. Like I said, these are mostly exhibitions. If somebody dies, then people cheer and they honor the dead. But otherwise, it's mostly just to see someone get the crap beat out of them.
Well, I think that's what happens, right? Shakespeare just gets a wrench to the head at some point.
Pretty much. Like, it's not supposed to happen that way. It's supposed to be like hand to hand. But like wrestling, somebody goes into the crowd and grabs a chair and breaks it. And that was the moment that.
If the fights were fixed, maybe I got headstrong and won.
It wasn't fixed.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, that's another direction it could have gone.
No, you're getting hit with a pipe.
Okay. Shh. Ow. Ow.
And, yeah, so, like, the fight's going awesome. Bets are coming in. I'm sitting there and I'm collecting bets for people for Johnny Shakespeare to win. And all of a sudden, like he pulls a pipe wrench out of the crowd after he gets thrown into it, and you're still like holding up like the head from Hamlet and everything. You're just
Verily he hath plumbed my depths!
And then he comes at you and knocks you flat unconscious with a strike to the back of the head with a pipe wrench.
Some good. Back to the head's too much damage, I think. It's just a good shattered cheek. That's all I want.
Ow.
All right, yeah.
Or back to the
Spitting
head.
out teeth.
Or one
Just
really
down.
good crack to the ribs. Just like drop you to
Okay,
the
I gotta
ground.
be tougher than that. I can't just be like, oh, my ribs.
Have you ever cracked a rib?
I'm saying, yes, no, I haven't, and neither has most of the people listening, so, like, it needs to be a kneecap or something.
All right. Also, and I'm asking this not to be pedantic, but because I'm thinking this will come into play. Is it like a 10 count is a win, or is it unconscious, or is it?
I think it's whenever
You call
somebody
it, or-
taps out.
Okay.
Taps
that's
out
interesting.
or is unconscious.
Is Shakespeare good at fighting? I guess if you've got confidence, I mean, he's got to be pretty good. So.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a while, so he's one of my top fighters. Did not expect to see him take a pipe to the cheek. He like spits out some teeth on the ground. Is a little bit too wobbly to continue. The ref walks over and calls it whenever he tries to get up, but falls over again.
So I'm here in the crowd, and I'm like, I see the pipe wrench coming out and stuff, and I'm sort of trying to stop it.
Yeah, you're like running forward towards it, towards the front of the crowd.
I lose
like,
some of my
just
cool
at
and
it.
some of my hiddenness, and I definitely get noticed. I want to say. Just
Yeah,
so
like
that-
I look over and I see you at the last second, and that's what keeps you from grabbing the pipe wrenches. You see me, we lock eyes, then you start moving back.
And
Yes.
and Tony's just like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Not her again.
I blush and I go, "Tee-hee-hee," and I go walking back into the crowd. The pipe wrench makes its
Man.
way in.
You have a fan you, like, hide behind. And Tony just, like, puts his hands over his eyes, like, no.
But the fan's also a revolver.
I'm like not even paying
No,
attention.
it's made out
to
of razor blades, Joseph. Get with the times.
Yes.
Johnny's on the ground, the fight's over, and I'm not even paying attention
Ding,
as
ding,
people
ding,
are
ding,
demanding
ding.
their payouts.
Everyone's just like, oh crap.
Yeah,
Like, we all this triangle realizes it's all in the same place again.
yeah.
Maybe
I got
not
a
Johnny
little
Shakespeare.
overconfident, and I didn't take enough bets from the other side, so it's a net loss for me that night.
Plus, maybe the distraction of seeing me didn't help anyone with this.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the negative outcome for you might be the fact that she showed up.
Yeah.
And
It's
you're
all
just
negative.
Like, I've got to deal with this girl now.
Where did my negative
So it's my scene again.
last night?
It is my scene, right?
Yes.
The clock hand has gone from the 3 to the 6. Which is
One more scene each until the tilt, by the way.
Yes, I know that. I'm trying to. I'm laying on the ground. I want to say. I think I'm gonna pick it up. Do I want to pick it up right there, or do I want to like pick it up in the locker room, like Tony, like screaming at me, like, "You screwed it up for all of us! Don't you understand how much money I had riding on you? I don't have that much money." So you're threatening me. I want to say like, yeah,
He's
exactly.
literally-
Just waving a stick, anger, fire.
Yeah, he's like,
Way
you
too
you
accurate.
think you're lucky he didn't finish you off with that pipe? You're gonna wish that he had. If you can't get me that money back. And of course I'm like, I don't got enough money. And then like, kind of like swimming into my mind, my sort of pain-addled mind, like comes the face of Alex. And I remember that she like I sort of remember seeing her in the crowd a little bit, kind of with her fan and stuff. And I remember that she owes me big. She owes me her life, in fact. Like, she owes me a life debt, and I'm like, hold on, Pitman, I can get you the money. I have a plan. I'm all, like, loopy, that's why I'm talking like this. Or drunk. Whatever. I got somebody in town who can help me. We'll get your money back. And so, like, that perks you up a little bit. You're like, what are you talking about? He's like, just let me, if you let me have, just a few more days, I can get you paid back. Oh, man, another black die? Jeez. Okay. Oh.
We're forcing Al to have another bad outcome for those at home, for those on the podcast.
I mean, it could just be he doesn't go for it, or
Well, I mean, if he doesn't go for it, I just get, beat him with his club.
Well, I think it's a pretty bad outcome that you're having to come back with the money. Like, in
Also,
general.
if you
You've
mentioned
lost
me to,
fights before, but you were supposed to win this one, and like it's just a lot of money that you have to get, and you have no idea where it's going to come from.
oh, the debt's transferring to him.
I'm saying, well, yes, like that was the whole scene we established, is that Pitman doesn't have enough to cover the actual bet that he made, and so he's saying like this is your fault. I
just didn't think Shakespeare would have enough. Like, as a slave, I didn't think it would make any sense to even try and get money out of him.
He's not trying to get money out of him. He's just trying to beat some satisfaction out of him. And I'm saying, as Johnny Shakespeare, that I can get the money for him. Then stop beating me.
But you mentioned, again, if you mention me to...
I didn't say specifically. I just said I can get you the
money.
money.
Well, I think that could be the bad outcome. If you say, okay, look, I've got this person in town who owes me a lot, and then Pitman's like, oh, really? And then you're like, yeah, it's this girl, Alex, whatever, who Pitman, sorry, I'm a little slow with the names right now, more or less hates and is being stalked by and is real sick of. I could imagine him not being very happy that the key to your plan is his stalker.
Yeah, that's whenever I slap you with the tire iron.
Okay, I like that idea. Where I'm like,
That's
I've got an idea. We could go to this girl, Alex, and he's like, you know Alex? And I'm like, yeah, I saved her life. You know Alex? He's like, you saved her life?
Why would you do that?
Oh.
You're the hellish bitch from places you've never even understood. And then I whack you again. Whack.
Ow. Ow.
The ogre is the... This is very funny. The visuals are stunning right now. And I can't not picture Pitman as this ogurely, oafish, club-wielding lunatic, who, however, is too good for me. Alex Fairman, what am I? Alex Fairmont. I'm happy with that. I don't share scene.
Well, I'm not. I'm a little bit concerned where we're going, because we do need to get to the part where we're going to steal the money eventually.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have a whole other second act.
That's true too.
This is sort of laying down groundwork. We're not moving forward with my scene, I can tell you that much.
Okay.
It's just straight
I'm fine.
sex between me and... I mean... it's nothing but porno here.
The word turgid is in there. That's all we need to say.
Well, are you calling your scene?
Yes, I call it. I'm good.
Okay. My scene's in the past. I want to know where this debt came from. And so we're going to go back to Johnny Shakespeare and Alex Fairmont 3 years ago at a pit fight, possibly also being run by... Do you think Tire Iron's involved, or at least was around at that time? Different pit fighters? I don't know. I know that we were in a pit fight, and I saved your life somehow.
I thought I saved your life.
You saved my life somehow. Yes. Or I would also allow you got me my freedom somehow.
Why did I do that though? I mean, we need to have some like.
Yeah, I know. I want to build a scene up. I'm saying that could also be something you did. I think that would put a life debt on me. I'm very honor bound.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be expressly be a life saving thing. That's what I'm saying. It could also be you get me out of the pit gangs. Why would you do that? Are you in love with me?
No.
No.
I don't want that to be. I just don't want. I mean, I think that complicates things a little bit too much.
Yeah, it does. It's called a love triangle. Fine.
We could do it that way. I thought that.
Are you related to me?
Possibly. We could be brother and sister.
Brother and sister?
Could have just grown up
and I'm in
the
love
pits
with
together.
You. I didn't pick that incest card last time.
And clones? We could have incest clone sex?
Hey, it's
Tony
not
says
incest if it's your doppelganger.
And what is it?
How is your doppelganger even? That doesn't. Of course, it's not incest. That's doppelgangers aren't brothers.
It's a clone. I think you meant that in the colloquial sense.
The colloquial sense means someone who looks exactly like you. Has nothing to do with relations.
Well, I had said clones. I think he was building off of clones.
Okay.
Yeah.
The doppelganger came about because of a cloning mechanism in that instance, which is where you could call no incest, according to Tony. Have we settled that?
I'm glad we've established.
And scene. All right. So either we grew up together.
What if You saw like Fairmont being like beaten half to death after losing in one of the pit fights, and took out like the manager that was gonna kill her for it.
Yeah, are you a good person, Johnny Shakespeare?
I think that I have some honor. I think that what happened was that it was similar to a situation to what just happened to me, where the other fighter cheated, and they were taking it out on her, and probably going to kill her. And I stepped in. I may not even what?
I have one other suggestion.
Yep.
You could also have discovered I'm a woman.
Okay.
And the rapey pit bosses are about to discover that now. If that makes sense.
Yes. That's fine.
Or what? Are we just giving up the androgyny of it and having just be a tough girl?
No, I like that. I like that, bringing that back around. That you actually are, that you were sort of in disguise as a man for whatever reason. We haven't decided that yet, but that
no.
I like. I cover either. Do I cover for you, or have
Well, then we get into the similar situation where I lose a fight and the pit boss is like going to do something that'll give this away somehow. I don't know how I've gotten away with it this long in the boxing ring, but that's not important.
You're really
good.
You're
just really, really tall and thin and good at boxing.
Yeah, but at some point, wouldn't they like perform a physical on us?
Are there doctors performing physicals for like the athletic commissions?
Yeah. I would like this motorcycle gang is on the up and up, guys. They have insurance and.
It's a dental plan.
We're just two assholes. We're gonna bust up like the Oak Club of this tiny town. No, okay, so that's part of it. But he's like, I don't know, maybe he orders me to strip or something because he's gonna beat me senseless. Or I don't know how graphic we want to make this.
I think that I just realized she's gonna get found out. I knock somebody out. I say you got to run for it, and they say, well, they'll come after basically they'll come after me, and I say not if they don't know that you're a woman, they won't know who to look for.
I'm like, you kept my secret this whole time? How did you know?
And I'm like, you actually weren't that good at hiding it, but everybody else.
Or maybe because I was making eyes. Did we decide if Pitman's around? I was making eyes at this upstarting pit guy, pit runner.
Or I'm just like, remember that one time when I walked in on you in the commode?
Yeah. Remember how you don't have a penis? Oh, right.
Remember how difficult using the urinal was?
Again,
I had to grab that thing like cliffhanger.
Jesus Christ. You guys gotta remember, don't push Tony forward, rein Tony in. I have to keep that in mind. Right. Without going into too much detail, the audience can decide which of those variants they want to use. So you knock out, maybe even kill, and make room for this up-and-coming pit boss named something Pitman.
And I can't get away because they will be able to find me.
Pitman has to be there, by the way, because I've grown infatuated with him.
Yes.
Then I'm gone. So yes.
Let's say Pitman is another cage fighter who turns me in and gets a promotion. Not a cage fighter.
Pretty good. Oh yeah, I like that. By the way, I need to die.
Oh, how is this turning out for you? Let's see. You are. No, I'm trying to figure out. Well, it's turning out well, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, you escaped.
It's gonna be well.
Okay.
Even if you did get the sense beat out of you.
Joseph
You're
gets
free.
a white die. Oh, we haven't been giving our die away yet either.
Oh, that's right. That's why I gave you 2 blacks. I wanted to push you into the. All right.
Tony, you haven't had your other scene yet.
Nope.
I'm gonna split them. I'm gonna give one to you and one to Tony.
I am also going to split mine because I had that idea totally independently of Al, and I'm an original person.
I'm keeping all my dice.
You have to give one away.
Okay,
That's
so
the rule.
one is going to go.
Well, that was a reversal of fortune for you, Joseph. Joseph started with 2 white die and ends with 2 black die.
Fantastic.
Tony starts with 1 black die and ends with 1 white and 1 black, and I started with 2 black and end up with 1 white. And is that your scene now? You run off into the sunset and steal a dress off of a clothesline, and right next to it there's a shotgun that's also an umbrella, and you take that and...
Yes. All of this is just sitting there waiting for me. And this postcard from
I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up. I have no idea what's that supposed to do.
I
Oh,
was
no,
thinking that you found the postcard on the 2 guys you killed at the beginning, personally.
I thought I just had it ever since that, just to remember where you guys fight. I thought it
Yeah,
was
there
just
could be a
like,
picture of me on the postcard, like, come watch the fights.
Yes, sold. With Johnny English, or whatever your stupid name is. Billy Serpentine, circled. What is it?
Johnny
Billy
Shakespeare,
Johnny Shakespeare, circled.
also real name Umberto Bell.
Yes.
Billy Serpentine is going to be a part of this, though, but it's more after the Serpentine belt than anything else because he likes motorcycles.
Oh, by the way. That was outside in the other town, but they still have motorcycles. Tony's turn.
All right. So I'm not the passive type of guy that's just going to allow Fairmont to just wander into town and do whatever she wants. So I'm sending my goons out to grab her and take her to my artisanal coffee shop.
Wait, what?
I've been having my guys loot coffee from all over the Southwest, wherever we're at, and keep it in a
You're
storage
coffee
thing so
addict.
I can be the
That's-
only coffee shop in town.
That's something you're. Did you do this because? All right, did you do this because you loved coffee and you need to have a good coffee shop, or did you do it just to make money?
Yeah, he's a road runner.
It's a little bit of both. Like, I put a lot more pride into my coffee than, like, the other places do, where it's usually, like, Folgers and shit like that. Some Maxwell House, like, I actually still grind my beans and everything by hand.
In
You know?
fact,
Al, I
that
hate to
is
say
his
this.
drug name is Maxwell.
This is absolutely shaping up like one of those stories where Al and I think we're the heroes, but really we're the assholes, and everyone else is like this erudite, sophisticated, coffee grinding, good work doing motorcycle gang.
All right, so my goons grab you and bring you to my coffee shop. And there's a nice little mug in front of you, like doilies and
You
stuff.
yeah, and you like pour the like you have a frappuccino machine or something. Not a frappuccino. I'm sorry. What is the big complicated one?
Cappuccino?
Cappuccino. Yeah, you have a cappuccino
Yeah.
machine, and you're like pouring like the most sinister cup of coffee ever.
Yeah.
And Alex is sitting across the way,
I, like, go
batting
in the
her
back.
eyelashes at you.
I have one of my goons milk the goat that's in the back so you can have milk in your coffee.
What the hell?
Going on.
As I hear motorcycles passing outside, I get mad because it's like getting in front of my store all dusty. Tell one of my goons to go like clean the windows.
So I'm
Anyway, so I sit
oh.
you down.
Pit running's
I'm
been
like,
good
look.
to you, I see.
I don't want to be the bad guy, but you need to leave.
I don't want to be the bad. Says the ogre pouring me cappuccino.
You think
I'm
I
like,
like
well-
hurting people? You think I like even just like what I have to do to my friends to survive out here?
Well, I've seen what you do to your friends,
Quote unquote.
Pitman. I saw you. Well, again, yeah, we've worked in the past, so I have seen some of your actions. You did just threaten to beat up Johnny English.
It's Johnny Shakespeare. It's not that hard to remember.
For some reason, it won't stick in my head. We did just see you clubbing him to get your money out of him. You can't just go pour coffee now and pretend you're Mr. Sophisticated.
Oh, there's a problem with cage fighters, and that's the only thing they understand is violence.
Yeah.
I couldn't just tell him to bring me my money. I had to show him to bring me my money.
You know, people used to say that about minorities, Mr. Pitman.
I'm sure people still do. It's
As
a
a
wild,
Mexican
wild west
woman-
out there.
What?
He's saying that racism still exists in the post-apocalyptic world.
I don't
But this
tolerate that in my pit.
I'm just
I'm the
saying.
exception. Don't put that on me.
Look, I know
Everybody gets beaten in my pit.
I'm well aware of that. That's more or less my point. I don't need you pouring coffee and acting all high and mighty like you're the good guy around me, Pitman.
I love you.
But I love you.
And look, like, we had to talk about this. Like, that was just one time. It wasn't supposed to be anything special.
I didn't even know you
there's
were a
actually
girl
a
at the
past?
time.
Yeah, like I'm a married guy. I mean, I can't be like having you come around here like that.
I'm a respectable coffee shop.
I own a coffee shop. I run a pit. I don't have time to deal with your insanity right now.
My husband will not put up with that.
Yes, did I mention I'm gay?
It's not going that far.
No, but
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that would be.
No, there's not. It would just be really funny if you were the absolute progressive, just complete equality for everyone guy, and Al and I were the jackasses. However, we already have it on record that we're threatening to beat Al. We can't quite go that far now.
I think that Tony gets a bad die here.
Tony gets a bad outcome. I'm like, oh, I'll leave town.
Well, now
I was
you
gonna say
could
with your
blackmail
heart.
me, I suppose.
I was just going to say I leave town with your heart. I don't know why I would do that. I guess I could turn nasty with this whole crush and not
I was gonna
be...
say you could you guys didn't like the whole gay married thing, but you could threaten like whoever his actual significant other is.
I could also just threaten him. I'm a badass. I can be like, look, either I get your body alive or dead.
I can't have you. Nobody can.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say that line. That's kind of cliche.
Nobody can
All right.
have you if I can't have you. Reversed it. New.
Also, Batman saying it now, I see.
All right, so you threaten me. How do you want to threaten me? Are you threatening me with death? Are you threatening me with exposure?
I'm threatening you with... you've had to have seen this in real life. Crazy lady eyes. I don't know if you've ever seen
like
crazy
full
lady
loop.
eyes. They're terrifying.
Yeah, it's that one meme, like the over-attached girlfriend thing.
Yes. Except I passed a little shade beyond that into, I realize you're not into me, and that makes me want to murder you.
And, like, I almost fall out of my chair because I'm so freaked out.
Oh, I take my postcard out, and I'm just like, rip. I'm like, fine. Oh, I'll leave town. And I slowly rip up the postcard. And your henchmen are there, too, so I'm not actually going to do anything right now. The question is, what are you going to do?
Can you there's might be some reason why you can't threaten her.
Yeah. Possibly because being scared.
Maybe you should go ahead and pitch him the idea that I was originally trying to pitch him, like, I happen to know where there's a bunch of money from the biker gang that you work for. I happen to know you're in the hole after that fight that I could have stopped you from losing, by the way. But since you're an ungrateful bastard, I didn't.
Who's speaking now?
This is Alex.
I almost like it if Tony decides to rip off the gang. That also works.
That's a need between me and you, though.
Yeah, we might need to, because then I can work it. I could work it in. Or okay, that's fine.
You could just be like, I'll leave.
Joseph.
Yeah,
you could just be like, I'll leave town if you can help us get this money.
It's like, look,
so
I
you
want
would have
one
an
thing.
inside man. So, like, the main thing would be me just wanting to get rid of you and also being a little bit broke right now. So there's two reasons why I would help. And just deal with it.
Do I mention Johnny Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Because for me, the money is almost incidental compared to wiping... Well, no, it's pretty important, because we also...
You're here for everything. Like, you're here to get the guy, you're here to polish off your life
realized
debt,
that.
and
Really
you're here to get the money. You are, like, large and in charge, and you don't care about the soup kitchen.
Or the roads or the hospitals.
Those poor people are poor because they don't take charge.
Her name is Alex Ayn Rand Fairmont. Alright, so, like, you can tell I'm pissed, I can tell you're pissed. Like, you say the only way you'll leave town is if I help you and Johnny get the money and set him free.
Yep. I have a plan.
At that point, I tell my guards to go outside, and we start discussing what has to happen for this, because I'm just desperate to get you the hell out of town.
And of course, Alex believes that if she spends enough time with you planning this, that you must fall in love with her.
Yeah.
Instead of leaving, I'll set up an elaborate plan where we spend a lot of time together. So we're backing off of I haven't quite gone crazy yet. That may happen. Clearly,
there's little hints of it happening, little
stable
twitches.
list of people. I've murdered like 8 people already. 2, and broke one guy's nose and wrist. I don't seem very stable, is what I'm saying, based on past events. Al, where's your die? Your second die?
I gave it away. Tony.
Oh,
has
we're in
3.
the giving phase. That's right.
So Tony needs to give 1 away.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to give it to me.
There.
You did give it to me. All right, and I guess we don't roll
It's Act
these
1.
now, do we?
I forget. Yes, we do. Wait,
Okay.
do we? All right, what do we do? At the end of Act 1, roll the dice in front of you. Do some dice math.
I got 10.
I've got 6 white.
I've got 10.
10 black.
10 black. Okay, hang on. I'm trying to figure out what happens in a tie. So there's going to be some...
I would just say roll again.
No! There must be more.
Just say they got
If
it.
the black die or high white die scores a tie, have each player tying re-roll all of their dice, according to page 42.
Well, god damn it. That's not nearly as exciting as I thought it was going to be.
All right, roll in. 3 and 5, so I got an 8.
Come on. I don't even
7.
know if I want this. Are you kidding me?
8. All right, let's re-roll. Locked in a duel. It's like our characters right now. Over chai lattes or something. One of my die fell off the table.
There it is.
All right.
That
Tony's
better
3.
be. Oh,
I've got 5. 5 black. I'm high black. Al's
I got
high
3.
white. All right, we roll the unused dice in the center pile now.
Chaos table.
All right,
and then
we
these are
go
the
to
ones we
tilt.
use for the tilt?
Correct.
Okay.
They are, however, not assigned to anyone. They remain. So these are over here. This is between. This is
Who's going first?
I gotta get the cards out, so you can go first.
Okay.
Where?
Let's see. What do I have? I have a 1, a 3, a 5, a 5, a 4, and a 6. Oh, I have mayhem, tragedy, innocence, guilt, paranoia, and failure to pick from. I don't have any 2s, so I can't do tragedy. I want to go with 1, mayhem.
I love paranoia. Do I have a 5? Yeah.
Yeah,
paranoia.
you do. I'm going to fill out paranoia with a number 3, which is 2 people cross paths and everything changes.
And I got mayhem to fill out.
You have a
5.
5, a 4, and a 6. Which will get you magnificent self-destruction,
Oh,
cold-blooded
absolutely
score settling,
magnificent self. That's not even
or
a...
misdirected passion, which we basically already have, misdirected passion. Okay, that's the active... That's the active end 1. That's the end of Act 1 and the tilt. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. We will get into Act 2 next time, so tune in for that. If you liked the video, hit like, subscribe to see more like it, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye!
That's